So, the reason that we use percents is that they provide a nicer way of describing small numbers. If we have a small number then, how do we write it as a percent? Let's say we have the number 0.18, and we would like to write it as a percent. Well, remember that our goal is to write it as a fraction out of 100. That is, we want to say 0.18 is some unknown number out of 100. We know how to understand x over 100 though. That's just 1/100th times x. And we know how to solve this equation. If we have 0.18 equals 1/100th times x, we want to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 100. 100 and 1/100th will cancel out, and we'll just have 0.18 times 100. Remember, we have a shortcut to multiplying decimals by powers of 10, right? If I multiply by a 1 followed by 2 zeros, I just have 2 fewer digits after the decimal point. I conclude that 0.18 is 18%. And because I've just found a percent, I write the percent sign at the end. Okay, but there wasn't anything special about this number here, right? Whatever number we've written here will go through exactly the same process. To write a number as a percent, we just multiply it by 100. The same process works with a fraction. If we want to write 7/25ths as a percent, well, we'll just take 7/25ths times 100. We want to do fraction arithmetic, so we'll write it as 100 over 1. That'll be 7 times 100 is 725ths. You can work that out by hand or use a calculator. 700 divided by 25 is 28. And so we see that 7/25ths is 28%. One thing to be aware of, let's say we go to write 1/8 as a percent. So we'll say 1/8 times 100 is 100/8. When we put that into the calculator, we get 12.5. Now we can leave that as a decimal, or we can convert that to a mixed number. Say 12.5. But the thing we should not do is convert that back to a fraction. Right? So this is equal to 25/2. But we do not like to give percents as improper fractions. Do not use the improper fraction to report a percent. You could either give this answer as 12.5% or as 12.5%. One more example. We want to write 7/12ths as a percent. So again, we have 7/12ths times 100. That's 700 twelfths. Now we just go ahead and do that division. 700 twelfths. And we get 58.3 repeating. Right, notice that 3 just repeats forever. We can report this with a repeating decimal, or we can convert it to a mixed number. One-third, 58 and 1/3, but not in general as just 58.33. Sometimes rounding is called for, but sometimes rounding is not called for, and we have to give an exact answer. Unless there's something that tells you that you want to round, don't round. So here we get 58.3 repeating percent, or 58 and 1/3 percent. Okay, so converting from a number to a percent is very easy. Just multiply by 100. Converting from a percent to a number is even easier. You just do what it says on the box. To write a percent as a number, just write as a fraction out of 100. So if we have 12%, we'll write that as 12 out of 100, right? But 12 out of 100, that's 12 hundredths. That's just 0.12, right? 2 zeros in the denominator means 2 digits after the decimal point. The effect that this has in the case of a decimal is that we have 2 more digits after the decimal point. Let's see another example. 7% is just 7 out of 100, which is 2 zeros in the denominator, 2 digits after the decimal point, 0.07. We can say, write 6.8% as a number, right? That's 6.8 out of 100. We want 2 more digits after the decimal point in our answer, 0.068. Okay, we can also do this with fractions, right? We could write 17.5% as a number. That's going to be just 17.5 out of 100, which we could do that calculation by hand, but it's fiddly, so we can also do it on the calculator. We'll say 17.5 out of 100, 0.175. So we could say 0.175, or we could give it as a fraction, 7/40. Either one is okay. So that's all there is to this. To write a number as a percent, multiply by 100. To write a percent as a number, divide by 100.